Hi everyone. So I came across these reports on Hackers News and Flipping Computer regarding the Hive Ransomware group possibly rebranding to Hunters International. Let's examine this and see whether it's really accurate or not. In order to understand this, let's go back to the start of the year. In January of 2023, the FBI collaborated with law enforcement agencies in Germany and the Netherlands to successfully dismantle the Hive infrastructure. Now, some of you may know already that Hive was one of the most notorious ransomware gangs out there, and the shutdown was a result of a 7-month covert operation in which the FBI had infiltrated Hive's infrastructure and network. On January 23, 2023, the US Department of Justice briefed the world on the disruption of Hive Ransomware Gang. Let's take a listen to a snippet from that briefing.
We are here to announce that last night, the Justice Department dismantled an international ransomware network responsible for extorting and attempting to extort hundreds of millions of dollars from victims in the United States and around the world. Known as the Hive Ransomware Group, this network targeted more than 1,500 victims around the world since June of 2021. In its first year of operation, Hive extorted over $100 million in ransom payments from its victims. Last summer, FBI agents from the Tampa Division, with the support of prosecutors in the Criminal Division's Computer Crime and Intellectual Property Section and the Middle District of Florida, infiltrated the Hive network and began disrupting Hive's attempts to extort victims. Since July of last year, we provided assistance to over 300 victims around the world, helping to prevent approximately $130 million in ransom payments. Our continued investigative efforts led us to 2 back-end computer servers located in Los Angeles that were used by Hive to store the network's critical information. Last night, pursuant to court order, we seized those servers. We also received court authorization to wrest control of Hive's darknet sites and render its services unavailable. This morning, if a Hive affiliate tries to access their darknet site, this is what they will see.
All right, so you heard a couple of jargons in the briefing, such as the affiliates and double extortion and ransomware as a service. I think it's very important to understand the terminology here before we go any further. So most ransomware gangs out there operate what is known as the ransomware as a service business model. In this model, the ransomware operator focus on developing their product, which is ransomware, and they sell their service, their ransomware, to other cyber threat actors who are known as affiliates. It's the affiliates who conduct the cyber attacks on their victims, and once the attacks are successful, the negotiations for the ransom are actually again managed by the ransomware operators or the RAS operators. And then there are a couple of additional tactics that different ransomware groups use, which is known as extortion. So there are many flavors of extortion: double extortion, triple extortion, quadruple extortion. But in this video, let's just focus on double extortion. So what is double extortion? In case of double extortion, what happens is data is exfiltrated prior to the deployment of ransomware. So, and the data exfiltrated is then uploaded to the ransomware group's data leak sites or the DLS sites, and then the victim is again threatened for extortion. And if the victim does not pay the ransom, there's a threat of leakage of that data to the public. So that is what is known as double extortion. So what prompted law enforcement agencies to come after Hive? Well, the Hive Ransomware Gang emerged in June of 2021, and by July 2022, the Hive Ransomware Group had emerged as one of the top 3 three most active ransomware groups out there. As of November 2022, Hive Ransomware Gang had earned approximately $100 million in payouts from more than 1,300 victim companies globally, as you may have heard from that FBI briefing as well. Hive heavily targeted critical infrastructure as well, while some ransomware groups claim to steer clear of targeting specific sectors such as healthcare and hospitals. The Hive Ransomware Gang had no such qualms. Hive attacked many healthcare providers in 2021, even during the peak of COVID, showing that the operators behind Hive had no regard for humanitarian considerations whatsoever. So I can understand why Hive was taken down. Now let's understand a bit more about Hive. Hive top targeted sectors include energy, healthcare, financial, media, and education, in that order. Region-wise, Hive favored organizations in North America and Europe, followed by South America. And then Asia Pacific and the Middle East. Pretty much it operated worldwide, but they would favor North America and Europe over, and then South America over other regions. Hive operated as a ransomware as a service model. We already talked about that. We talked about the affiliates. The gang had an affiliate portal that acted as a backend for affiliates and their members, a leak site known as Hive Leaks, where they would upload all the data that was exfiltrated. And then they also had a Tor-based victim portal, complete with credentials that victims could use to communicate with their attackers for negotiation of the ransom. With this background in mind, let's come back to what we wanted to understand in the first place. Did Hive rebrand to Hunters International or not? On October 20th, a security researcher with the Twitter handle Ravitna detected code similarities between Hunters International and Hive ransomware samples. His assessment was that this is actually Hive ransomware version 6. Then there was another researcher with the Twitter handle Bushido Token who responded to Ravitna's tweet by saying that and corroborating that he also found multiple code overlaps and similarities between Hive International's ransomware as well as Hive. And he reported that there was at least 60% match between the two sets of code. This then led to the speculation that Hunters International is indeed a rebrand of Hive. Then something that is not very common happened. Hunters International responded and addressed these speculations. They declared that rather than being a rebrand of Hive, they are an independent ransomware group that acquired the source code and infrastructure from Hive. And they also claimed that their primary focus is data exfiltration rather than data encryption. So, is Hunters International a rebrand of Hive? Let's examine this and unpack this further. Both Hive and Hunters International employ ransomware as a service business model, and Hunters International ransomware group uses Hive's code with feature improvements. This is where the similarities end. In contrast to Hive, the Hunters International ransomware group appears to be opportunistic, with no specific focus on regions or industries. While Hive employs double extortion as a tactic, Hunters International has emerged as an extortion group. There was a code analysis that was done by Bitdefender's research team as well, and they observed addition of features such as logging to the original Hive code, and there was also an effort to simplify the code. This actually points to a behavior commonly associated with the adoption of code from other developers. Based on this, my assessment is that Hunters is not a rebrand of Hive. They may possibly have associations with members of Hive, but we need more information on that to be conclusive. Well, Only time will tell if Hunters International will prove equally or even more formidable than Hive. Let's leave it at that. Until then, goodbye.